Okay, so I am actually doing a podcast that's very different from what I do on here, but I'm bored. Okay, so this podcast or multiple part podcast will be about a story that I've read in over these years. Well, multiple stories that I've read over these years. Let's just say a series, and I fell in love with too so much. I am joined with someone who's going to help me talk about this.
Hey guys, I'm your mom.
Yes, he is your mom, and he's behind you right now.
No, I don't have a YouTube channel or a social media account. I mean, I do have Discord. So honestly, what am I supposed to say?
I mean, you're supposed to say, follow me on Discord
Oh,
and give me a subscribe.
follow me on Discord. I'm that boy 40. Follow me on Discord. I'm that boy 45. And if you order right now, I'll give you a free blowjob. It's free, I swear.
I'm going to get demonetized. But anyways,
You're not. You don't even have it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
What
kidding.
the fuck?
It's a joke. I'm joking. But anyways, enough about that. We're here to talk about. we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
We're here. And of course, I'm Tinal. Hello. But of course, we're going to be talking about a story that
A story that is really well known in the
Brony,
MLP community.
Brony fandom.
Brony.
It's something that's well known in the fandom outside the Brony community. If
It's something that's well known in the fandom, and for some fucking reason, and I'm not saying that to be rude or anything, but for some fucking reason, is still just about as popular, even though the show is over now.
well,
Like the fucking fandom is just like it's kind of winding down a little bit, but it's good to see that people still have a passion for Fallout Equestria.
I mean, people that are just fans of Fallout know the story. I'm sure.
Yeah, people are fans of Fallout. I was actually a Fallout fan. I mean, I was still a brony, but I was also a Fallout fan. I knew that fucking oh yeah, maybe somebody made a crossover or something like this, and apparently I did. And then it was not until like years later I realized this is this is actually somebody actually put a lot of effort and well earned effort, in my opinion,
Oh yeah.
into something that I thought of just one day. Like, I wonder if there's a crossover between Fallout and MLP. There has to be. There has to be.
I mean, yes, there is. It is surprising that someone actually put the time to actually make a Fallout and MLP crossover. Of course, we're talking about Fallout Equestria, and
Yeah.
as of course, if you haven't realized already, and this story has really, I would say, it really has made my life.
It has. Yeah, it's been a part of his life. I think. I think it has a bigger impact on him than it did to me, because really, I just figured out one day that, like, oh yeah, somebody made an actual, like, really good crossover of Fallout and MLP, and I thought, sweet.
I mean, it has a bigger impact because MLP saved me from really big depression, and like whenever I wonder if this other stuff that I like that's with MLP, and so. But actually, I actually did not discover Fallout Equestria because of that. I discovered Fallout Equestria because one of my friends texted me and saying, "Hey, Blackjack," or something like that. He called me a Blackjack, and I was like, "What are you talking about, Blackjack? Are you talking about the card game?" I was like, "No, there's this story called Fallout Equestria that has a Project Horizons, which is a side story." But he said, you act like this character," and I'm like, "Really? Well, I should read it." And I think about a week later, I decided to actually read it on fanfiction.net. And
It was worth it.
it was worth it. I mean, it took me almost a whole year to read it. It took me almost a whole year. It's long. It's a very long story. Now,
Project Horizons, out of all the Fallout Equestria stories that have been released so far, it is the longest,
Yes.
counting 80 fucking chapters.
I think it's over 80 chapters. I think it's around
With
80.
with I think two
No,
epilogues.
there's one epilogue. There's only one epilogue.
There's one epilogue, so basically 81 chapters. It's a long fucking story.
Yeah.
It really fucking is.
But
But it's worth it. It's
don't
worth it.
don't take what we're saying. Don't take what we're saying like, oh, this is the original. The Project Horizon is not the original. The original story
No,
is
Project
just
Horizon is not the original. It's just that it's just a really good story. Like fucking like we still like the first Fallout Equestria. Like it still holds a place in our hearts. It holds a place in my heart. It's just that Project Horizons. It's just oh my god, it's
Project.
amazing.
Yeah, again, this is not the original. The original story is just called Fallout Equestria, and
Yeah, by K Cat.
what you're seeing on your screen is not is Project Horizons. That's the characters of Project Horizons, which we'll get to in the next part. But KCat, the creator, I have to thank her. Like literally, without her, there would have been no Project Horizons. There would have been no Pink Eyes. There would have been all of that.
There have
So
been no Murky Number 7,
no,
Heroes, Falling Shadows, which is a working
like
progress
I
one.
I think what got her to be very very popular was all these side stories, and
Did you know? Do you know what actually started it all? It's like she found a picture. Fuck. I think I heard. I
oh
think I've seen
yeah,
this from an AY video. She saw a picture of Blackjack not Blackjack. Fuck me.
she found
Applejack holding a revolver in her mouth, and it said Fallout MLP or something like that, and she just decided to start working on it.
Oh yeah, I remember. I don't think that was the picture. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I know it was a picture that got her started, which was pretty.
That's what
surprising.
ANY told me.
It was pretty
I mean,
surprising though.
yeah.
Like for her to create
Fucking
this
who
whole
knows that
universe,
like an image like that could just spawn such an amazing like sub fandom.
for her to create like literally a whole universe of decide the fandom where Fallout Equestria. Like literally, if you go to Brony conventions, there's Fallout Equestria stuff. There's panels.
Fucking and mostly Trocons where it at.
Yeah,
Where
TropCon is mostly where they Fallout Equestria stuff at, and there's hell. There's
yeah.
even a video game of the Brony fandom being created.
Well, actually, technically, there's two. It's just that the one that was made by Overmare Studio, like that's the big one. The other one's just a Flash game, but I really do like playing that
I'm
Flash
sure
game.
there's other Flash games, but those are like the big ones.
Oh, I'm sure, but fucking those are the only two official ones. There's a Flash game, and then there's a full on like Bethesda like game of Fallout Equestria,
And
which
yeah,
I can't wait to see what that turns out like because I bet it's gonna be fucking lit.
and yeah, there is fucking. I never read the original story first. I read Project Horizons, but I didn't finish Project Horizons till I finished the original, and it didn't take me long. It took me like a month to read the whole original story, but I loved it. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
It made me want to read Project Horizons more. And what about you? How did you get into that? You said that you looked it up, like you wanted to see if there was other crossovers, right?
Yeah, well, technically how it really all began is that like fucking I was really fucking tired and I was like, you know what, why don't I look up some really awesome MLP Fallout fan art? And I kept seeing specific images for this one character named Little Pip. I'm like, wait, what's the fuck's going on? Like, why am I seeing so much of this character? And then I look around and apparently there's a full-fledged story about this character.
Yeah.
And from what I heard, it was pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
That's how I got into it.
I mean, yeah. For disclaimer, I've read Fallout Equestria Project Horizons. I've read all of them. I've read all of them straight through. I don't know about you. I know you haven't finished Project Horizons. And you haven't.
I read Project Horizons until like chapter 13. That's it. I did read a bit of Pink Eyes, and I feel like I'm a quarter of the way there.
And I feel like you're going to be repeating that a lot.
Yeah.
What about the original Fallout Equestria? Have you read that?
I've seen. You know what? I've never read it, but I have seen. You know those really cool source filmmaker animations that people make of like things that happen in the story. I've seen so many people do like many remakes of the source filmmaker intro sequence where like Little Pip she leaves the vault and shit and she finds Velvet. I pretty much know what chapter 1 is like. So I mean, unless if there's more in it, then I haven't. I'm wrong, but still.
No, there is more in it. It's just that's basically the summary of chapter 1. No, there is more in it than chapter 1 if you read it. But there was going to be an animation of the whole story, but then Stable Tech by Stable Tech, but they got shut down.
Yeah, stable tech. Yeah,
Yeah,
they shut down.
they shut down because it wasn't even possible. Like they didn't even have the resources to do it, and they basically just teased us because they didn't want to admit it. And they finally came to the senses to shut it down. But then I've heard that another group, I forgot the name, but they're picking it up.
Honestly, I mean, I hate to be the complete asshole and the voice of doom, but honestly, if you're planning on making an entire animation about a story that is just about as long as Fallout Equestria or Project Horizons, like, dude,
Good luck.
you're going to be working your ass
Yeah,
off.
you are. Imagine
You are going to be working to your fucking heart's content, and you oh my god, like if you ever fucking like manage to do it, like, oh my god, all the props to you.
I mean,
Holy shit.
if they do win a Project Horizons, man, I would have fucking sucked their dick. I'm literally.
Dude, I feel like I feel like that this should be a thing. If anybody managed to make an entire source filmmaker animation about Project Horizons, like the entire book from beginning to end, that person deserves a gold medal.
Yeah,
A
definitely.
gold medal with a lot of fucking chocolate in it. Because that is a huge ass achievement right there.
Some people don't like chocolate. You know that.
Or just give them just give them $1,000 because that shit's like fucking wow. That's a lot of work right there.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. But anyway,
Yeah.
yep, that's
I
basically.
mean, he's doing work. Whoever's doing it is doing work, and they deserve to get paid for something like that. Especially making a fucking entire animation about a 50-chapter long book.
Yeah, but basically, that's the introduction to this. I guess the next part is going to be Project Horizons, and the next is going to be the original Fallout question. That's basically going to be it for this. But this is something different I'm doing because I haven't uploaded in so long, and
You haven't uploaded in 11 months.
shut up. It's just I'm not dead. It's just that I have no idea what to post. But sometimes
He's just been talking with me a lot recently.
no, I've been actually having a life. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But basically,
Oh, so you're not saying I have a life? I mean, you're not wrong, but damn.
no, I'm just saying that.
Alright.
Okay, what the fuck?
Yeah,
are you
but also
talking about?
he has been talking to me a few times, and we've been talking about Fallout Equestria a lot because we're both nerds.
No, we're both brony nerds. But anyways,
Uh,
that's it.